Hello there. I am Aaron, and tonight we are talking about MillCreek. We're doing a reviewed and ranked. Now, there's only three titles. Normally, there's around like 6 to 10, like somewhere in between there, titles for when I'm doing MillCreek reviewed and ranked some releases. But this time around, uh, actually, I think I missed out on this month, and they just sent me some random stuff. So here we go. There are three titles that we're going to look at. One's actually a complete television series, and that is the TV series Tell Death, which we'll get to that. Dave Chappelle's Block Party, one that I'd seen years ago and actually was really interested to revisit. There's some great like musical performances on here, including one with Lauryn Hill, reuniting with the Fugees for Killing Me Softly, and the quirky independent comedy Interviewing Monsters and Bigfoot. So I'm going to go through these one at a time, and I'm going to try to remain completely spoiler free. I feel like I got a light right on me, I feel like it's one of those like Law and Order type things. But first off, we got Tom Green and Les Stroud in Interviewing Monsters and Bigfoot. So this one here, I'm going to be honest with you. I'm still not quite sure what my thoughts on this are. I watched it, and it took me a couple times to actually get into it. So I watched this one actually twice, or at least once and a half. I didn't finish it the first time. I went back to check it out again afterwards. And there are certain aspects of this film that I like, and there's certain aspects of film that I'm still not sure on. It definitely was in the quirky character vein, and in a weird way, I guess if it gave me a feel of anything, and this is going to come off like wrong, or people are going to get the wrong idea, but it had quirkier characters on a la Northern Exposure, that type of thing, but not not at the Northern Exposure level, not like of the you're not getting any Rob Morrows or anything in here. But listen, I can't quite place this film or put my finger on it. And if anybody has seen this, I would really love to get your opinion on it in the comment section, because I'm still not sure if I like this. There are aspects of this, and there's characters in this that I really enjoy, and there's certain things that play out and come together that I think are fun, and there's certain characters that I find like at sometimes both annoying but entertaining. So definitely like give it a look. It's but I can't like 100% recommend a buy as of yet. But that's just me. I mean, look into this yourself. This may be right up your alley, and this may be I may re-review this one down the road. I have a feeling that this is one of these ones that I wish I had somebody here with to watch, because it seems like something where I kind of want to play off somebody so we can actually get. I want to get more than my feelings on this, because I go back. Okay, I like this. I really like these aspects of the film. I like the way it's being filmed here, and I like these characters, and I like the setting that we got. And then there's other aspects like I'm not quite sure if I like where that goes or how that pays together. But this is definitely one I'll rewatch. That's 100% sure. So there you go. I'm not quite sure if that's a great review, but it's an honest review. And one thing I want to do with these here reviews is be honest. Next up, this was a pretty easy one for me. Dave Chappelle's Block Party. So pretty much this was a kind of a huge block party that he had, like a kind of a surprise secret block party, and it seems a lot like, because you have to take this in context. This was right after Dave Chappelle, like his series was going well, and he made that big $50 million contract. And as we know now, later on years down the road, Chappelle was not comfortable with that kind of money. Not that he didn't want the money, but he was not comfortable with the fact that he was worried that with that money would come the stifling of creative freedom, which would inevitably end with David Chappelle leaving the show, and them doing a third season without him actually in it, and taking sketches that were already filmed and doing things around with other people doing the guest hosting of the Dave Chappelle show. Now this is a neat little fusion of comedy and music. As Dave Chappelle often says, basically all comedians want to be musicians, and all musicians think that they're funny. We got people on here, of course, like, well, Dave Chappelle, Kanye West, Mos Def, the Fugees, Erykah Badu, The Roots, Jill Scott. It is like, some people call this uneven, but I don't. I actually really, really enjoyed this. I watched this a couple times, actually. And I did, now, that being said, I did go to certain like sequences a few times as well. And I watched the film through all the way through twice. But I did go back to the Lauryn Hill stuff. I'm a big fan of Killing Me Softly, like at least 4 or 5 times. And it's the Mos Def. So I just Kanye West, when Kanye West was on, kind of on point really. Before the whole there's a lot of before the right here. But it is some really good stuff. It's a good mixture of comedy and music. I particularly love the music that's in this one here. Dave Chappelle, like they say, throws the ultimate block party, and that's exactly what he's doing. It does seem like Dave Chappelle is around the I'm uncomfortable that I've gotten all this money. Look, I'm still me. I'm still the person that I am. I'm still at the end of the block. No, and he throws this kind of like filmed party to pretty much just say that Dave Chappelle is still Dave Chappelle, and no matter the money is not going to get to him. Obviously, in a sad way it did, because he had to the pressure got him to go away, but actually made him come back and do some really great stuff. So I really did like Dave Chappelle's Block Party, and that's one I can definitely recommend. Great music, great comedy, a good mixture of both. I disagree with the fact that a lot of critics said it was uneven. I actually really enjoyed this. It was a nice throwback to that time when Chappelle, for me, and it was hitting that really special spark of genius. All right, we come to the third, and the reason that this review took as long as it did is because I watched this twice, and this is the complete series of Till Death. Now, for those that have never seen the show Till Death, let me put it to you this way: you ever watch Married with Children back in the day and wish it had kept on going, but kept on going at its best, at its best time? So that's what Till Death is. Till Death is a lot like Married with Children. It's very much the kind of a successor to Married with Children. And the neat thing about it is we have a wide cast of characters, and we get to meet different characters coming in throughout. We see a character early on in the series that becomes a major character and has one of the most uniquely weird, funny storylines in the latter season. And we do see the leads, two of the leads actually kind of leave the show after the second season, really. So we just see but they did some episodes, so they kind of still seem to be there a little bit. And actually Eddie K. Thompson, who plays the Jeff Woodcock of the who's one of the male leads, he was in an episode of Law and Order that I recently watched, actually. An old episode of Law and Order, I think it was season 10, so he was young. But we got Brad Garrett, of course, who had done Everybody Else Raymond, and for those that are wrestling or cartoon fans, he's the voice of Hulk Hogan in Hulk Hogan's Rock and Wrestling. No, the wrestlers did not usually voice themselves in that cartoon. Jolie Fisher, of course, I knew her from Ellen, but this is a star-turning role for Jolie Fisher. She is incredible in this role. Brad Garrett is amazing here. As good as he was in Everybody Loves Raymond, he's so much better in this. Eddie K. Thomas does a really cool job, and in a scene stealer role is Kat Foster. Kat Foster is the wife of Eddie K. Thomas, and she is hilarious. It starts kind of like Married with Children starts. It has this couple that have been married for a long time, and they're going through the motions. They still love each other, but they've gotten to the point where they're comfortable. They're comfortable being able to like go off and do their own thing, or and still still they get. There's one episode where basically she says that he can have this female work friend because they're at the point now they've been married for like 11 years. No jealousy or anything anymore. She's wrong. There is jealousy, and it works out kind of hilariously. This series is solid all the way through, in my opinion. This, for me, if you like comedy, if you like really good comedy, really good situational comedy, and not just the norm stuff, but like really fun stuff. You like stuff like Married with Children, like that style comedy. This is not just a maybe pickup; it's a must pickup. I'm so glad that MillCreek sent me this because I know I'm going to watch this over and over again. Like some people watch, Seinfeld. Some people watch Big Bang Theory. This is my version of that. Till Death really just hits me. I love my better half, and we've been together for a while. But obviously, some of these things relate to us, and it's fun and it's cheesy. So you got the older married couple, and you got the newlyweds that have just moved in, and they kind of play off each other. So, like Brad Garrett's like, okay, there's an episode. The first episode, basically, they're moved in, and there's an extra room, and he says, you wanna? So I'm thinking about a pool table, and he's like, you're not gonna get the pool table, right? It's like, no, of course I'm gonna get the pool table. She said she'd think about it, and he says, yeah. She says she's gonna think about it, and then she's gonna say, well, is there really enough room for the pool table? Is the pool table just a little bit too big? And he said, well, we're not going to be throwing dinner parties. He said, but maybe I want to throw dinner parties. And we see, like, he says like this to Eddie K. Thomas's character, Mr. Woodcock, and because he's the vice principal. And later on, that conversation plays out exactly like Brad Garrett's character says it's going to play out. I love this show. I really do. I mean, if you have not picked this up, if you've never watched it, 100%, like, check this out. It's a really, really good show. There's new characters introduced, like, throughout the series. One of the kind of ongoing jokes, especially in the last season, is that their daughter was originally played by Kirsten Ritter, of course, from Jessica Jones fame. She's the daughter, like, for the first couple seasons. But they recast the role in the third season, and they had to recast it again. Now, one of the neat things is her boyfriend, I think eventual husband, in the series, who comes out as basically this kind of stoner, laid back, slacker character, has a storyline where the fourth wall is kind of broken, where he realizes he's having a breakdown, and kind of realizes, hey, we're in a sitcom, and we see like sequences where like we see him like looking out when he looks out the window and like set people are going by, and eventually he's in a group therapy session, and it's with the cast of Blossom. So it's a really fun show. I don't want to give too much away, but Till Death, 100% recommend it. So let's rank these, and again, not a bad title per se, but just not something that I could personally get into. This may be your jam, but it didn't work totally for me. But I'm still like second guessing. Is it me? You guys let me know what you think. Have you seen it? Maybe this is something that I need to revisit, or maybe because sometimes you just watch a movie at the wrong time. But this is in the number 3 spot. In the number 2 spot is Dave Chappelle's Block Party. I think this is fantastic. It's a really fun. It's definitely a time capsule of a certain period, with music and comedians and just some amazing, and just like seeing it at that time period. Because where's that? This is like, I'm trying to remember where this was shot at. I know it's in his hometown somewhere, and even today, this that area is going to be changed. It's a slice of that culture at that time, and that's freaking amazing. And by far number 1 with a bullet, just incredibly fun, really, really cool show. Really enjoyed this. is a complete series of Tell Death. Every episode is here. It's an 8-disc set, and I really, really, really enjoyed every second of watching this one here. So if you've never checked out Tell Death, definitely check that one out. Of the three, grab this one first. The other ones is going to depend on your mileage and how much you like Dave Chappelle and you like that era and that style of music and comedy. Same with interviewing monsters and Bigfoot. It's all going to depend on how you like those actors and you like the way that you like that style of comedy. For me, Tell Death is the overall like the big winner, but I can't say any of them are ones that I don't actually like or enjoy. So they were fun. I love them. I'm looking forward to what comes next from MillCreek because they've been sending some fantastic stuff, and I'm actually going to look at some of the older stuff that I've gotten here that I haven't got a chance to review. I want to do a review to rank to some older stuff that I think you guys may have missed out on. So look for that video coming in the future as well. I am Aaron. Thanks for joining me here for Review to Ranked. As you can tell, I'm upstairs in what's basically my study, where I do my work. I got my, you can't see it right here, but this is my 32-inch CRT TV, which I attach my PS2 and my DVD, VCR and Laserdisc to for older films and retro gaming. And I've got my 55-inch 3D capable Toshiba TV over there, which is where I do my reviews for which I watch all of my films. Like I watch all these here, and also because I review things like Dynasty and stuff like that sometimes, the 3D film that came up from Film Archives. And it's good to have a 3D capable TV when you're doing like 3D reviews. I am Aaron. Thank you for joining me today. This has been the Cult of Cinema Reviewed and Ranked. It's been a while since I've done one of these, but again, lots of fun doing it in a different area. I hope you guys like this, and I will see you soon.